Hi, this is Ask Brock. I'm Brock Yorty. This week's question comes from Brian. Brock, how do you deal with stress on a high-profile project? Jelly donuts, ice cream, Snickers, deep dish pizza, those big drinks with that are different colors with a goofy straw. No, really, for me, it'd be craft beer. But you know how we deal with stress on high-profile projects? With support. And that support comes from, if you're mid-management, asking senior management for help and getting the right plans and processes in place. If you're the tippy top, it's talking to your number 2 and 3 and saying, this is the plan. This is how we need to get back into a better place that we can mitigate that stress. And in reality, it's not just high-profile projects for construction. If we look at the Construction Industry Alliance for Suicide Prevention, and I just jumped right from stress to suicide prevention. A year or two ago, they had a statistic that came out that said 49.4 individuals out of 100,000 would succumb to suicide. And we talk about safety all the time. We talk about slips, trips, and falls. We talk about suspended loads, electrocution, rotating equipment, confined spaces. And for all the fatalities that those cause in a year, suicide is 5 times greater than that. So we should have a tailgate talk about mental health. We should have a discussion. We should have a support system in place. The same as we're mitigating the risks of all the rest, we need to think about the stress. And I remember the first rotary rig we got, I developed a twitch in my right eye over the stress. If I tip this rig over, if I take a curve too fast, anything I do, I could bankrupt my father's company because of the rig payment, because we took that big chance on that piece of equipment. And that's stressful. And then we look at long distance relationships as we're traveling. We look at the crazy weather we're having, from wildfires to droughts to the massive flooding in Tennessee. We have family members across the country, and we're very easily connected now because of cell phones. And I talk about distraction, but we need to talk about what, beyond that distraction of getting focused back into the task at hand on job, but how it's affecting everybody. And so we need to talk about it, and we suck at talking about our feelings. It's not the industry we are, but that's what it's going to take. Is saying, hey, what's going on? Recognizing substance abuse. And I'm not talking about hardcore substances. It could be eating. It could be that our colleague in the evening goes and grabs a case of beer and is by himself or by herself. We just need to say, what's going on? I can get you help. We can talk. There's mental health experts that you can Zoom with. All of the technology that has progressed so quickly during the pandemic for social distancing is there to be able to have somebody to talk to. The COVID-19 pandemic is insane. And my father's in the hospital critically sick. And that stresses me. And, it's something that as I react to a situation or whatnot, I have to recognize, and I appreciate the friends, the colleagues, the family that reach out. The poor execution of how Afghanistan has happened. And I think of all the good men and women that spent 2 decades, fighting, building, trying to establish, a better place over there for the way we're removing right now. And I think of the Red Horse and the Army and the Navy all drilling water wells over there for FOBs and for people, and how that affected, their experiences. And we need to reach out to them. And we just have to realize that, mental health is something that changes daily, just like our tasks. And we have to see it, talk about it, address it. It should be part of our tailgate talks. That whole concept of I saying, do you like your job? Do you feel safe? What do you want to do next? Those are things we should be able to ask each other all the time. Finally, I thank you, everybody that's reached out about my dad and asking questions and whatnot. And I got a question for everybody in the industry. What are you doing right now to mitigate the COVID-19 Delta variant? Are you educating yourself and your teams and your people? Are we having critical discussions? Are we understanding that there is direct care if you get tested immediately and you get into the hospital? It's very important to me, and it is to all of you out there. This isn't some hoax. We talk to scientists about unknown circumstances all the time, and now they're talking to us about unknown circumstances. Pfizer just got FDA approval for their vaccine. You need to be asking yourself in your heart and for humanity, what are you doing to prevent this? Because it's going to take all of us to get through this damn virus. Thanks, Brian.